Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Global Happenings Today. We do have a trending news for you, and the topic reads: various pastors, prophets begin to make prophecies for and against Emeka Ihiedioha's reclaim of his mandate in Imo State. And a whole lot of them are really quite funny, though. Some of them are even going, the men of God are even going as far as saying that let God take their life if the Supreme Court, gives Emeka Ihiedioha this mandate, while some are against. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, quite an interesting one, I tell you, where men of God begin to speak. Before we go to the further news proper and further analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel. Really, this is an interesting one. Let's go straight into the news first. As we all have been seeing of recent, lots of prophets have been prophesying about Emeka Ihiedioha and Hope Uzodinma's case. As we keep waiting for Supreme Court to reveal the case, a pastor who seems very sure about this prophecy has taken to his Facebook account to say Ihiedioha will not win the case even after Supreme Court reveals it. He said if he's a true man of God and his prophecies of God, then Ihiedioha will lose the case. He even went as far as saying that let God take his life if Ihiedioha emerges governor again. And you're going to see the prophecy yourself. It's actually written by the man himself. It's lots of prophecy, just about repeating the same thing. It says, generally, I don't support swearing, but a pastor swearing for God to take his life if Ihiedioha emerges as governor again is very, very bad. This is one of the pastors. Another pastor also came online and said this time around, he said they should forget it, that this will happen. He said forget all the bad prophecies about Ihiedioha because Ihiedioha will retain his seat back. I think the world we are in now in Nigeria is a world whereby politics and religion are now brothers. This is actually becoming a game. A pastor has actually brought it upon himself to cast away all bad prophecies about Ihiedioha, saying those messages or prophecies led about him will have no effect on him, and that he has a message from God that he will win this is case and retain back his seat, but he should continue and do more better with all he has been doing. The pastor also said that he doesn't have any right to go against what other pastors' prophecies are saying, but he just wanted to deliver the message to Ihiedioha. I don't know if this is actually turning into a game with pastors, or is this actually the right prophecies? Nigerians have started reacting over this. It's really quite funny though. But let's get to hear what Nigerians are saying about the prophecies first before going to full analysis. Really, this is getting interesting. One here say this is the type of people we need in the country to give us message from God, and not those thieves who wants politicians to visit and bow down for them for money. Another person here say, you have said it all, my brother. It shall come to pass. After all, you did not mention your name or ministry to attract any thanksgiving in your church from anyone. Another one here says, if the message is coming from prophet, is a El Boba as the pics indicate, I will surely believe. Prophets are among all men of God. I read their prophecies. You're only man of God that said it all. Others are playing game of politics. This one is coming from another man of God who believes that Ihiedioha will get his mandate, regardless of the negative prophecies that has been coming. But let's hear what Nigerians are saying about the other man of God who said that if anything happens, that Ihiedioha will not take the day. Instead, let God, if he be a man of God, let God strike him dead if Ihiedioha wins the seat again. Let's hear what people are saying concerning his own prophecy, because he went as far as swearing. He said, I've never seen any prophet of old saying such a word. Jonah prophesied against Nineveh that God was going to destroy, but after what Nineveh did, repented with fasting, God did not destroy the city. God is always merciful to the situation if one is found to be oppressed. However, God does not participate in politics. Another one here says the pastor is a prophet of doom and a demonic pastor as well. He will surely die a disgraceful death within a fortnight from the moment Ihiedioha is declared winner. Another one here says, no, it's not bad. He did not say God should take your life, but his life. That means he knows what he's saying. Let's wait and see who will win. Can Supreme Court review the case between Buhari and Atiku? Another one here says, let the will of God be done in Imo State. I know that when God is in action, nobody can stop him. Whosoever God decides to favor, so be it. I will take just this last one, then we'll go into proper analysis. This one here says, I don't know why it's only in Nigeria that God has abandoned all things and focused on politics of APC and PDP, Supreme Court cases and all. And this God who tells you everything refused to open your eyes and to tell you or give you prophecy about Boko Haram, how their killing spree will stop it, and how to release those captured by Boko Haram. Pastor, remember that God of heaven never involved in politics. If Ihiedioha must seek the face of God, Ihiedioha must seek the face of God during and after this review. Every mountain standing before him shall be leveled, and fake prophetic declaration will be terminated. God is not a son of man that he will lie or begin to review to you about Supreme Court cases in Nigeria. There's so much reactions from Nigerians. We can't take it off. We do. Honestly, we shut down by the time because there's so much reactions on this particular prophecies. You can now see that we have a situation in our hands here. Really, this one here is insisting. This man of God, man of God one, is insisting that if he be a man of God, that Ihiedioha will not take his seat and let him die. That's a strong statement, even went as far as swearing. God cannot lie, Be not deceived. God is no more. Whatsoever any man swear that shall he reap. God is not an author of confusion. He can't give a prophet A or pastor A this message and goes to pastor B and gives an opposing message of the same coin, of the same issue. It's not possible. Someone here is lying. Someone here is using the name of the Lord in vain. And that's why we're where we are today, not just in Christendom, in Nigeria. We are a very religious nation. You can imagine now one person saying, even goes as far as saying that he rather die, that because he's so sure of the message God gave to him that Emeka Ihiedioha will never reclaim back his mandate. And the other pastor here didn't bother to decide. Pastor B here, Prophet B here, did not bother to swear. He said, forget the whole issue of negative prophecies and all that. The truth of the matter is, Ihiedioha should continue to pray and do better, but he will reclaim back his mandate. We've been hearing series of prophecies concerning this whole issue of Emeka Ihiedioha. Remember, the whole issue of Emeka Ihiedioha's sack all began from the prophetic declaration of Father Mbaka, where he said he sees hope. If you say hopeless, that's your business. He sees hope, Uzodinma, hope for Imo State. He sees hope, Uzodinma taking the day. And whether it is politics or prophetic, eventually came to pass. And now it looks as if every other pastors are beginning to queue in. They don't want to let this particular Ofera go without their name being mentioned, and some of them want to capitalize on the Ofera and begin to put their names too in the radar of social media trending as they are beginning to speak up. Some said, look, Ihiedioha, you're going to take the day regardless of what people they say. Your mandate is sure, it is recovered, and just do better. And others are saying, look, never will Ihiedioha take the day, that even if it should have so many reactions. But I feel that we shouldn't be beclouded by what these men of God are saying. Some of them may not even be genuine. Some of them are politically induced prophecies. Some of them, they've checked the radar of Nigerian politics, and you can practically predict how things may turn out based on the way things are being run in Nigeria in politics, the politics arena. But be that as it may, I would rather advise that Nigerians shouldn't be swayed and shouldn't be blinded by some of these prophetic declarations. Some of them are not real. Some of them are forged. Some of them are made to blind the eyes of Nigerians to reason and reality. Let's look at what is on ground and let the Supreme Court do what they feel is needful by reviewing the case. All those numbers that are not adding up, they need to ensure that they at par. They are real and the figures, and because these are people's emotions here, these are people's mandates here you're playing with, and they shouldn't be beclouded by the prophecy of what men of God are saying. Don't go into the courtroom with that prophecy declaration in mind, except of course they're politically induced. But if not, I feel that Nigeria has come to a level where we begin to leave religious sentiment and begin to face fact and reality the way it is. Is there a need for review? Yes, there should be, because there were a lot of disparities in the last Supreme Court mandate judgment, giving sacking Emeka Ihiedioha and giving Uzodinma the seat. A lot of persons reacted because the judgment was not real, as in there was so much discrepancies here and there. So yes, there's need for review, and yes, the review is actually going to come 2nd of March, and I feel this time around they should read their wrong if they want Nigerians to begin to value their verdict in Supreme Court. Otherwise, if it doesn't go, if they don't do it the proper way and they end up, adding more salt to injury, I'm afraid Nigerians totally lose faith in Supreme Court, and the hope for the common man may be gone. But I believe also they should not allow this religious sentiment that is ongoing in Nigeria right now to becloud their judgment. But that's how much I can take on this. What's your take on this? What do you think? Do you think Emeka Ihiedioha will regain back his mandate, or do you think, just as the man of God, the other man of God has said, that he would rather die than accept God didn't speak to him? We don't want to really mention names so that we don't end up promoting their ministry, because that's the whole essence, where you see some of them coming online to begin to declare Emeka Ihiedioha and all that. All they're looking for is a way to, mention their ministry, let their ministry go trending online. That's free publicity, so that they can now have more members and more tithes and offering. But that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at the message and not the message.